record ours and then post
Yeah.
it. I'm like, that's a lot of work.
Yeah. Yeah. But in true Nooner fashion, we got started in a live chat essentially, so I figured it's only appropriate that the podcast for us has a live chat as well. But
For sure.
I think some of the stuff we talked about, me and Stacey have talked about doing is going to be recorded for sure because it's easier.
Yeah.
But I believe we are live, unless I fucked something up, which is could happen. So, but
It could happen. It's possible.
yeah, never. Very professional setup over here. My bed is literally like 2 steps away from this set. That gets interesting.
Are you really in your bedroom?
Yeah, yeah.
What, is Stacy okay with that?
She gets irritated when the episodes go long and she's trying to sleep. And either she will start yelling from the bed, or my favorite is she starts trying to distract me from the bed.
She shows you her titties, doesn't she?
She just depends on where she wants to go with it, I guess. But what's going on, everyone? You already know what it is. It's the Nooner Nation podcast, the podcast for Nooners by Nooners, and I am joined today by the lovely Miss Brittany. I don't actually know your real last name. I don't think it's Eden.
Eden.
Oh, is it really?
It is. That's my maiden name. Yep, Eden.
Gotcha.
So that's the one.
Oh, okay.
It's not Holloway yet, so we'll just keep it at Eden for right now.
Is that a possibility? Or are you guys? I actually don't know. Are you guys engaged?
We would go get married tomorrow if I was like, yeah, let's go do it. But I'm like, we are really busy, so I'm sure it'll be eventually.
And yeah, I obviously I am married, but also I totally get why some people, especially after being married before, are like, yeah, I don't want to go through that bullshit again.
No, I am in absolutely no hurry. My divorce was fucking awful, and it was like 1.5 years long. I'm still actually dealing with some bullshit from that. And so I'm just like, not in any hurry. And we just bought a house. And then it's like, when we do get married, we are eloping. We will not have a wedding. I'm like, that is so stressful, and I just don't want to deal with it.
Yeah, that's what me and Stacey have both kind of said. Like, if whatever happens to us, I don't think either one of us want to do the fucking wedding. We did the wedding, and actually our wedding was small, like in comparison to some weddings. I think we had like 40 people. It was all family. The only friends we had were in the wedding party, because my best friend, who is like, I grew up real close to where Dan grew up, just on the other side of the border in North Carolina, and Southern Baptist wedding. And they had 600 people at their fucking wedding, and it was a nightmare.
I don't even know that many people, let alone do I like that many people.
Yeah, no kidding. That's what I was like. What is like? So we kept it small, but it's still like halfway through it, we're just like, can we just go to Vegas and keep this money?
Can we get this over with?
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I didn't even have a great time. You know what I mean? Ours was super small too, and I'm still just like, no. Like, I'd rather spend that money and go to freaking Bora Bora or something for 2 weeks.
Yeah, I will say a decent portion of what it cost for our wedding, though, was because we wanted to have an open bar, like full beer, wine, liquor open bar, because our family parties. And it was expensive, but like, we know the person who runs the events for the resort, like in North Carolina, that we got married at, and we partied so hard they had to send somebody to the liquor store before it closed, and they lost about $1,500 on the open bar after charge. I think it was like $2,500 or something for the open bar. We ended up drinking like $4,000 worth of liquor, and I think
that's a lot, Bill. You have a family of alcoholics? Is that what you're saying?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's hereditary. I mean, my alcoholism didn't come from anywhere, But speaking of which, alcoholism, St. Patrick's Day, cheers. I had to bring a Guinness.
Yep. I didn't even know it was St. Patrick's Day, by the way.
Yeah,
I had no idea. Kane told me earlier.
Yeah, me and Stacy, we went, we are Sans kids for the next couple of days. My in-laws are keeping the youngest, and my mom took my oldest to some family I have out in Indiana for spring break. So we went. Stacy has
Mm-hmm.
gone full blown Midwesterner and has joined a bowling league, a bowling league. So
Stop. Did she have her bowling shirt?
she does not have a shirt yet, but she's got the bag, she's got the shoes, she's got her own ball, and she's serious enough that on
Oh,
her league night is Thursdays, and she tries to get a practice round in, or her league night is Fridays. She tries to get a practice round in on Thursdays. So we had a bowling date night where we had a couple pitchers and did some bowling before we came
and
home.
did some bowling.
We did some bowling.
I would have to bowl. I still bowl with the things up on the side.
Oh yeah, the gutters or the bumpers on
Yes.
the gutters. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Yep. I still bowl with those.
but yeah, as we were leaving, there was a bunch of people coming in all St. Patrick's Day out. I was like, oh shit, it's St. Patrick's Day. And luckily, I had some
Ready to party.
I had some Guinness bottles down in like our beer fridge because I do like Guinness, but in the cans. And last time I tried to order some, I did like our grocery stores here. Like I could order online and just drive up, and they throw the shit in the back of the truck, and I drive off. Well, they gave me the bottles, and I fucking hate the bottles. But
I have to be honest. I don't think that I've ever had Guinness before.
well, it's surprisingly for being so dark, I think it's like one of the lowest caloried beers. And
So you're watching your figure? Is that
I
what you're
am.
saying?
Well, pool season coming up, you know.
Well, let me tell you. So I'm drinking hard as fuck, obviously.
Obviously.
And peach was my favorite flavor, but I'm pretty blueberries kind of growing on me.
Yeah. I did
And they have 0 carbs and 0 fat. So look,
Yeah.
if you're trying to get skinny, you can still get drunk.
yeah. Oh, and they will light you up quick for sure.
I know. I'm like had one, and after one, my lips start tingling, and I'm like, oof. Sometimes I have to cut them with water, half and half.
I can see
Topo
that.
Chico
I
and
can
a
see
hard as
that.
fuck.
Yeah, or
Mhm.
cut them with vodka.
It's really good.
You know,
Yeah. But
Or
I'm
make a
trying to
cocktail
slow it
with
down.
right? Yeah. Yeah, they're
Yes,
good.
I've been taking the pictures for it. So we've been messing around with different versions of making it with different cocktails.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's good though, and it's so good that if you drink 26 of them, you'll turn into a full-blown white girl and take a picture in front of Wings in downtown Austin.
You guys, when Dan gets drunk though, he's a happy drunk and he's fun and he's laughing. He's like a normal guy when he's drunk, right? Like
Yeah.
someone that's not drunk. And then when he's not and he's sober, which he's never truly sober, he's always high. We know that. But when he's not drunk, he's just irritated all the time. But when you have 26 hard as fuck seltzers, you love everybody and you love taking pictures in front of angel wings. And that's what we did.
Yeah. Well,
It
and
was great.
I tell people quite a bit, like, because, I was with a group of people that in Austin that had never met any of you guys before. And, we get to the party and like, oh, there's Dan. Like, can I go say hey to him? I was like, he is far more approachable and personable than you think. Like, he's just Dan, right? Like, he's nice, but you just have to understand, like, he's just going to be Dan and be dry and odd. And then also, like, some people like, oh, Brittany, can I go say hey to Brittany? Like, is she cool? I was like, Brittany's fucking awesome. All you gotta do is go say hey. She doesn't care, So
It's
how's
my
it?
face. And
Oh, now you
it's
think?
just
Do you have an unapproachable face?
sometimes I do. Like I'll see so Joel, our main photographer that
Mhm.
comes to all the events with us, he takes pictures and I'll look at the Dropbox at some of the pictures of my face and I'm just like, I was in a good mood. Like I don't know why I don't look like it, but I am. And Dan though is I would say people are less they approach him less than they approach me,
Yeah.
which is understandable. But you do also get a lot of females will approach him more than males and they'll be like, oh my God, my husband or my boyfriend loves you. And then introduce him to the boyfriend or the husband instead of them just coming up to Dan. And he thinks it's hilarious.
Oh yeah, I can see that.
Mhm.
Yeah, but I
But
think
when he's drunk though, he is super approachable. He loves
yeah.
everybody.
yeah, I that night I caught him about running to that vending machine by the bathrooms. He was coming out of the bathroom and about walked right into it. And I was like, yep, Dan's had a lot of these tonight. So
Yeah, we were leaving and it was late. I don't know what time it was. It was late though. Ross and Jesse had just snuck out. So I'm like, perfect, is our time. And Jesse's pregnant. So I'm sympathy pregnant, which means I didn't drink either. So if she's got to be miserable, I'll be miserable with her. And so
Yeah.
I didn't drink so I could drive home.
Yeah.
Dan, I'm like, Dan, it's time to go. We need to wrap it up. I
Yep.
could see it. He needed to go. So we were walking out and those angel wings were painted on the side of the building. And he's carrying our camera case, which is a Pelican case on
Uh-huh.
wheels. And it's just flipping all over the place. And I'm like, give me the suitcase. So I took it and we're walking and he's trying to walk, bless his heart. And these drunk ladies were on the side of the road. And he's like, just have them take this picture of us in front of these really cute angel wings. And I was like,
The most
okay,
surprising
great.
part of that
So we
entire
did.
story is that the most surprising part of that entire story is that he said really cute angel wings.
I know. I'd never heard it before. So I had to take him up on the offer. Right. And so I posted it to Instagram, I think that night, and he was already asleep. So the morning he woke up and he's looking at it and he's like, I don't remember taking this picture or saying any of that. And I'm like, well, you did. And we
Yeah.
have evidence.
Yeah.
So
There's literal photographic evidence. It's a great picture though.
Yeah, you can tell when he's drunk too, because he actually kind of smiles.
Oh,
It's
he
a
was
little
smiling
grim,
a lot.
but he's
I caught him.
smiling.
I caught him
Mm-hmm.
actually smile laughing at one point.
Yes.
So
Yeah, when he's drunk. So that's what you have to do. Friday, like last Friday, he went to South by Southwest is going on right
Mhm.
now in downtown Austin. I didn't have any idea what this was until now, but he went down there Friday when Jared and Matt Best and Tim Montana played. I don't know
right,
if you
yeah, I
saw it
saw
on
that.
Instagram
Actually, I
or
saw he
not.
went live, and he
Yeah.
went live on Instagram, and I was kind of like I was just bored on the couch, drunk, and like hitting him up, like trying to get in on it, And he was probably like telling me to shut the fuck up from the other side of the camera, but
Tell me they didn't look like a bunch of sperm dancing around
they
on
kind of
stage,
did. That
though,
might have
in
been
all white.
that might have been the look they're going for, though. You never know, especially if
Oh,
you get Jared involved in anything creative. There's going to be
he
cum
wants
for
to look
sure. Yeah.
ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah. And did you know, actually, Jared hates cum, like is
Oh, I know.
disgusted by it,
I
throws
know.
up,
Yeah.
hates it.
Oh yeah.
Which is surprising because he does a lot of stupid shit. So you'd think that's the one thing that freaks you out is cum. But Dan went down there. I dropped him off, and I'm like, I'm going home. It was freezing. It was like 35 degrees in Texas, and I wanted to just lay in bed, and that's too many people for me. So I dropped him off with I think a 24 pack of seltzers. And he came home at like 11, just fucking trashed and was giggling and laughing. Everybody was drunk. A guy there, they lost him. They found him asleep in a parking garage.
It happens.
So if you're going to drink them, just be careful.
Oh yeah. Yeah. So yeah, Hard AF definitely gets pretty much everybody's endorsement. And to be in all honesty, when it came to Austin for the launch party, I was like, I'll try them. And it's $20 all you can drink. I was like kind of on the fence. I was like, even if I don't like them, I'll be nice. Like I'm friends. And I tried the lemon lime
You're
one.
going to lie.
I was like, well, it's a good lie. I'm lying to my friends to make them feel good. But
Yeah.
for real, when I tried, first one I had was a lemon lime, and the first sip I was like, oh fuck, these things are dangerous. Like they are awesome. They're really fucking good.
They kind of creep up on you. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? So they're not that like I don't know, static water taste.
Yeah.
So they taste good. So you keep drinking them, and then after like the second one, I have to remind myself to slow down because especially if you're sitting down and then you stand up and you're just like,
Oh, yeah.
ooh,
Yeah. So
I think I need to slow down.
immediately after drinking the first one, I drank it fast. It was so good. I was like, okay, I'm gonna have to play the like seltzer, a couple cups of water, seltzer, couple cups of water game all night tonight. And then within a half hour being there, I ended up getting what I call shot raped by a couple people. Like I'd be talking to somebody, be like, "Oh, I got you a shot." And I'd be like, "No, thanks, man." And they'd be like, "Yeah, you're Bill, like from Iowa, right?" I was like, "Fuck, okay." Like I got recognized, so I don't want to be a dick. Like the very few
And
times I get recognized, and not take it. So then I really I probably drank a gallon of water that night. But it was.
Did you have liquid IV at least?
I did not, because there wasn't any in the studio for me to steal. So
Everybody steals it from the studio. That's why.
I know. But then after the Super Bowl party, a bunch of us went to like the Rusty Boot or something like that. I can't remember what it's called. And And that's where like I was like, okay, I'm buzzed, but everybody else is fucked up. I'm gonna catch up, and started doing shots, and then I just caught up way too fast, kind of thing. And then ended up waking
Mm-hmm.
up. I ended up like waking up Monday in my Airbnb, wearing my jeans but without underwear on underneath them. So
Where did you find them?
I
Your
did,
boxers, at
I
least?
did, and I've remembered now what happened was I got back to my Airbnb at like 3 a.m. or something. It was like I should take a shower,
Mm-hmm.
and then got ready to take a shower, and then was just kind of like fuck that, and just for some reason decided to put my jeans on instead of like my underwear back on, and then just passed out in bed. We all have
You
those
picked
nights.
the most uncomfortable clothing to wear to bed, is what you're
At
saying.
at that point, it would not have mattered. I could have been wearing like Carhartt overalls. Well, I would have slept just the same.
Have you ever have you ever peed your pants when you were drunk,
Mm-mm.
sleeping? Like I guess peed the bed?
No, I've
Never?
not. Mm-mm. Nope.
Oh, I have. I
Have you?
I think like three times as an adult. I think it's like I dream that I'm going pee and then I wake up and I've like already started and I'm just like, wow. And you're just so now I don't really drink. I'm not a big drinker. Probably because I peed my pants too many times.
Oh, yeah.
It's
Yeah, I've
bad.
never done that. I mean, I know people definitely have. I don't think Stacy's done it either. Stacy has come home from like girls' nights and thrown up in the bed a couple times. That's always fun, you know,
In the bed.
in the bed.
Oof. I have made myself throw up plenty of times just because I don't like the spinnies. And so I'm just like, I got to get this out of me. But
Mm-hmm.
I will say, Dan and I went to a comedy show, I think Brent Pella or something like a month ago
Mm-hmm.
downtown. And I asked him for wine and he's like, well, all we have is like the cans of wine, the little tiny
Well,
ones. And I'm like, that's fine, whatever.
okay.
It was white wine, I think. And
Oof.
so he brings it to me and I don't know anything about canned wine. So I drank three of them. And by the time we left, I was so drunk. I was spinning. I couldn't even walk straight. We get home and I'm just over the
Yeah.
toilet. So then the next day I'm like, did I get drugged? Like what happened? That's
No,
crazy. I don't
you
get
get
that
into
drunk.
some of those
And I
like,
realized
uh, yeah,
they were like, I don't know. I think 3 cans is a whole bottle, is equivalent to a whole
probably,
bottle from what I drank.
probably, and I
And
mean,
so Dan's like, you're not a lightweight. You drank a whole bottle. And I'm like, fuck that.
yeah, and I mean,
It's awful.
yeah, if you get in, especially if you get into like canned wine, I mean, I think at best you're probably looking at like Dark Horse or something, and
Yeah, I don't know what kind they were. I know that they didn't have any sugar in them. They were like a sugar-free one, but
okay,
the percentage was super high. And it was like Jessie and I looked it up and she's like, no, you drank a whole bottle. And I'm like, fuck.
yeah,
Well, I'm
it'll
not gonna
get
do
you.
that again.
It'll get you. Have you ever like fucked up on boxed wine? Have you ever got like the boxed wine where it's
No,
like four
not
bottles in one
really.
box?
My old bosses my old bosses drank that, the Boda box wine or
Yeah,
something.
yep,
We have two different wine monthly
uh
memberships.
huh.
Excuse me. And Dan gets reds and then I do whites, rosés, and sparkling in mine. So
Okay.
we're getting 18 bottles of wine a month delivered.
Yeah.
We have these like modular wine racks in the dining room.
Mm-hmm.
We have two of them now, and we've already overflowed both of them, and now they're all over our bar. And I'm like, can we put a pause on this? Like,
Yeah.
this is a lot of fucking
Yeah.
wine.
That's
I don't know what we're gonna do.
Yeah. I do the first leaf as well,
Mm-hmm.
and actually it was Dan that brought it up. Me and Stacey are thinking about starting this next month. Dan on air one time was talking about like you guys will take the little like info cards and the pairings and
Yep.
actually do like every once in a while do like a meal with the pairings. So me and Stacey have talked
Mm-hmm.
about like instead of like going out, like if somebody has our kids, instead of going out for like a $200 sushi dinner, like just plan to make the meal and pair the wine with it and do like a date night at home kind of thing. So yeah, that was Dan's
Yep,
idea we
it's
ran
a
with.
good
So,
idea because they put like 3 or 4 different pairings on there. So on Sundays, like when I'm making my grocery list for the week or writing meals down, we'll just go over them. And if there's something on there that we're like, oh yeah, let's do that. I think we did like sea bass or pork chops, whatever. And then we'll have that bottle of wine. But since this is launched, we really haven't drank that much. And honestly, well, I'll go to the grocery store, like plan my meals, and
Hmm.
then I'll be like, I don't really want to cook this tonight, and we'll
Yeah.
order something. So it
Yep.
fucks up the whole week, anyways.
Oh yeah.
Or
Yep.
it's just a mess.
Yeah. So I mean, speaking of Austin, right? You've recently moved to Austin. I mean, it's been what a year, close to a year.
I moved
Oh, so not
September
even
of last
okay.
year.
Gotcha.
So what are
So
we at? October, November, like 7 months almost.
7 months, and you were kind of in the
Six
Kansas
months.
City area, right?
Yep, I
Yeah.
was in the suburbs. So Oak Grove is about 30 minutes east of Kansas City, and I was out in the country. So I was on
Right.
like 30 acres. So
Oh, nice.
downtown, what I was stayed far away from there.
Downtown. So how do you like Austin compared to Kansas City?
The weather's a lot better. The drivers here fucking suck. They're awful. They drive like 20 under the speed limit, or they just don't know what the fuck they're doing. And I am someone that is in the left lane. I'm going like 20 over all the
Mm-hmm.
time. So it's very irritating, and it's busy. So I think Austin, Dan told me, is the same size as Kansas City, but has double the people.
I can see that.
So, oh, and in our neighborhood where we're renting our house now has 6,000 houses. It's a lot. So I do love it down here, and I love it even more now that we're moving. So we're
Huh.
moving about 10 minutes from our house now, 12 minutes,
Mm-hmm.
but we're on an acre and a half. So we're kind of out where there's not a lot of people,
Yeah.
which is great.
Yeah.
But
You've got a little buffer between the neighbors, right? An acre and a half.
yes,
And you guys.
because let me tell you about my rental house now. The guy behind us, we have neighbors everywhere, obviously.
Right.
And our windows in our master bedroom are like backed up to his pool. And he
Mhm.
sits outside all day and works. And he can see right into the bedroom and into our bathroom. And I'm just like, I don't care at this point. I know he probably is sitting out there now because I'm fucking just in my bedroom at this point with no clothes on. So
Yeah. Oh yeah.
whatever. We just don't care.
So you're saying the neighbors have seen you guys fucking several times?
Oh, I'm sure. And
Hmm.
Dan has made it a point now where he's like, probably will fuck me in front of the window just so he can be like, yeah, you like it?
I've not that same mentality, but I've not pulled down the blinds before to the neighbor's house a couple times,
Just leave
just
him
to flex,
open.
just to flex a bit, you know.
Where's the craziest place you think you've had sex?
Isn't this was that the Newlywed Game? Have you ever seen that
Is that a
clip from?
question on the newlywed?
Well, that's a famous clip from like the '70s, where it's like, "Where's the craziest place you've ever made whoopee?" And the wife was like, in the butt." No,
What do you mean
craziest place.
actual geographical reference?
Craziest place you ever had sex? Right
I guess
after.
it doesn't have to be crazy, but like,
Um,
out of the
probably
ordinary.
when the day I proposed to her. I actually proposed to her at the Maker's Mark Bourbon Distillery, and
Okay.
we were on our way to the Indy 500 when we lived in North Carolina. And at one point, she's like, "You just need to find a place to pull over so we can fuck." And it ended up being like some fairly open warehouse parking lot in like Lexington, Kentucky. And
Mm-hmm.
we were also in her Miata, so there wasn't any room to do it outside. So we just did it in a warehouse parking lot on the hood of her Miata. So that's probably the craziest that I can recall.
Middle of the day?
Oh yeah,
Or was it
broad
nighttime?
daylight. It was probably like 2 in the afternoon.
Okay, Stacy, get it.
Yeah, she wanted it.
I don't know craziest place. I have like had sex on a hotel balcony and then later
Oh, yeah.
realized, I guess while we were having sex, that the guy above us was legit. He was like up and to the right a little bit, so he's diagonal to me. And I just remember looking up at one point, and Homeboy and I were just making eye contact, and I was just like, okay, this is great. And he wasn't very old. So Kane's 14. This kid was probably younger 20s or even younger than that,
Oh,
maybe
all
just
right.
a little bit. And I'm just like, all right,
You're
I mean,
just
fuck
out
it. I'm
out
going
on the
out here
balcony
doing this,
getting it
so
done,
here
huh?
you go. Yeah, and he got a show. I'm sure he told his mom or his dad at least, I hope. But
Oh,
who
yeah, that
knows?
kid wasn't telling anybody except his friends,
You think he
right?
kept it to himself?
Well, he
Yeah,
wasn't
he's
going to tell
probably
his
texting all his
parents.
friends.
If I saw that, I wouldn't run to my mom and be like, "Mom, guess what I saw?" You know, I'd be like, "Holy shit!"
Guess what I saw? No,
We
fuck
text.
that. I would want Kane to tell me because I'd be like, oh, yeah, well, did you take a picture?
Yeah, yeah. Where's the video? That sounds hot, right? That would be me. I'm a
Yeah,
dirtbag
did you
though.
make this? Yeah. Yeah, you better take a picture because I need evidence of this
Like
for
you
sure.
didn't film this? Like what the fuck were you thinking, dude? Go to your room. You know.
Amateur. Amateur. We've taught him better than that.
When
I
we
hope
get
so,
home, you're
anyways.
grounded. You know.
Yeah. God, yes. Speaking of grounding him doesn't even fucking do anything. I'm giving that up.
Yeah.
Goodness.
I mean, my oldest is 6, and yeah, he's like, "Go to your room." Okay. I'm like, oh, motherfucker.
Cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he just like shrugs it off, like motherfucker. But
Doesn't
yeah,
care. I take Kane's phone and I'll take all of his electronics. So the PlayStation, Oculus, fucking computer, everything he's got. And he's a lot nicer to me when he's grounded because he's bored. He's got nothing to fucking do. So he wants to hang out with me, he wants to do stuff. But
right.
as far as like changing his attitude or like, working to like get his stuff back, he's just like, whatever.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
Well, much less like I've done it all besides just beat the fuck out of him. And at this point, it's like, I don't know what to do. So I just gave up. I told Dan like a couple weeks ago, he came home from work and I was like, I don't want to do it anymore.
Yeah.
Now I know why moms go get cigarettes and they don't come back.
Right. Right. Well, motherhood's easy, right? I had to bring that one up.
My God. Okay. So let me just back up and tell you where this started. We were in Florida when he was shooting with Tucker Carlson. Like, I don't know, what was that? 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. Recently.
And, I saw a meme or something on Instagram and it said something about stay-at-home moms like should make like $184,000 a year or something based on like how much they work and hours and this and that. And I showed it to him and he starts laughing. And I didn't really show it to him to be like, you need to pay me $180,000 a year. I was just like, look at this. Like, that's crazy, and he starts laughing and I instantly just got mad. And I was like, what's so funny? He's like, being a mom's not even hard. I'm like, oh, okay. So we go to dinner. We don't even really talk about it. And then it got brought up on Drinking Bros at some point for something. I don't really remember what.
Yeah, I can't remember.
And this motherfucker said it again. And he's like, oh, what's so hard about, heating up raviolis and giving them an iPad? And it's really funny that he said that exact thing because I think it was the day before, 2 days we were over at Ross and Jesse's house. And Jesse had heated up ravioli for Jagger and then gave him his iPad. And so I don't know if it was calling, Jesse out or what, but that's between them. And so he talks shit on Drinking Bros. He comes home as I'm folding laundry and he's like, hey, how was your day? And I was just like, it was great. How was yours? It was, wasn't very hard. I've just been here all day, cleaning up after you. And he's like, I'm sorry. I didn't mean it like that. And I was just like, do you want to die? Like there's something. And Dan doesn't think it's hard to be a mom because he's never been a parent. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
And now he's got Kane, but Kane's 14. So it's a lot different having a 14-year-old than it is having like Jesse and Ross have Jagger, who's 4. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I'm just like, man, boy, I ought to just punch you right in the fucking face.
Well, Dan's in the live chat
that's where we're
defending
at.
himself right now. Dan's saying
Tell him to go fuck himself.
it's called talking shit. Which is what I assumed. I assumed he knew it was going to drive you nuts, so he just leaned into it. I would probably do the exact same thing on air, to be fair. But yeah. So like, what is it like? Not to we keep focusing on Dan, but like, you guys live together. I want to know, what do you two watch?
What, like on TV and stuff?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're both super into science and sci-fi stuff. So typically we eat dinner, we get super high. We watch shit. I don't even remember what that show was. He'll be able to tell you what we just watched, the outer space one. I watch a lot of like Through the Wormhole. I don't know if you've ever seen that.
I have not.
With Morgan Freeman.
Ooh, you got me sold
So
now,
we
though.
watch it's yeah, there's like 8 seasons. There's a lot. And we have all of them. So we watch that. We are watching now, I think it's called The Expanse. It's
I think I've
on
heard of that one.
Amazon Prime. It's like a if you were to be in outer space right now in like modern day. So there's people on Earth, people on Mars, and then people in the asteroid belt. And so they live in outer space. So
Okay.
we watch a shit ton of stuff like that, a bunch of outer space stuff because we're weird. We just like
Well,
watching
space
space
is
stuff when
dope,
we're super
right?
high.
Space is dope,
Yeah.
especially when you're high. Jessica in the chat just said, Dan, I hope Brittany gets you pregnant and leaves.
Do you could you imagine Dan with a newborn? I can't. I don't know if I can. He's not bad with kids by any means, but if I were to get pregnant and have a newborn, he would just be like, "Shut the fuck up, stop crying. Like, what's your problem?"
Yeah, yeah. It's like cry, like, what's your problem, bro? Like, what's going on? No,
Yeah,
actually,
stop being such a pussy.
it would probably end up being like content gold, you know, just like
He would.
just like today on RPR, they were talking about Jesse going to Vegas right now for the Final Four, and I was like, I think pregnant
Oh
Jesse
yeah, because they
in
go to party.
Vegas having to follow Ross around would be hilarious to watch. I mean, it'd suck for her, but it'd be hilarious for the rest of us to watch.
She wouldn't follow him. She would leave him and tell him to figure it out on his fucking own. He's a big boy.
Oh yeah,
But yeah, I couldn't. She would want to kill everybody. She's at that part where she's about miserable and about fucking done
oh
with
yeah,
it.
done.
So
Yeah.
no, our baby. If we had a baby, I would come home and it would probably be in like a newborn baby plate carrier,
Oh,
holding
yeah.
like a fake gun,
Of
something
course.
ridiculous. Yes,
I don't know.
duh.
I don't know if it'd be fake, to be honest.
No, he'd probably give him a real gun. You
Yeah.
know, just because he needs to start at a young age, he needs to learn.
Jared in the live chat said his first word would be cunt for sure. Yeah,
Or fuck.
or fuck. Yeah.
Because he says fuck a lot when we're at home. He was up here cussing, putting the cameras on. So it would be fuck or cunt. It would definitely not be mom or dad by any means.
Well, tell him thank you for going through the frustration of setting up the cameras to have you on. Because it is St. Patrick's
Yes,
Day.
I will.
I
I'll
assumed
let
you
him know.
guys would be out partying for St. Patrick's Day, you know. But
He's sick. He's got a man cold right now.
I've heard
So
the
he's
cedar
he's
fever thing
downstairs.
is real.
Yes, it is, and it hit him. You know, he had a fever the other day, so it's been about 3 or 4 days. I wake up in the morning and he's gone. The last 4 mornings he's not laying in bed, and I'm like, what the fuck? So he'll wake up in the middle of the night and not be able to breathe, and then he just goes out in the living room and sleeps. So he's been dealing with all that nonsense. The cedar fever is awful. So that's one bad thing about Texas. But living in the Midwest, we had all kinds of allergies. So I guess I'm just more used to it. He's just a pussy.
Yeah. Yeah, I have terrible allergies. But growing up in like the mountains of North Carolina, they were really bad, and I noticed a significant difference better when I moved to Des Moines, to the Midwest. They still get pretty bad, especially like at certain times of the year, especially like agricultural stuff, like corn pollinating and shit. But
I was going to say when they start, farming and stuff up there, I'm sure it knocks it all around. And that's probably really fun.
it gets rough, but it's not nearly as bad as it was like year round in North Carolina. But I can imagine if I was to, ever move to Texas, cedar fever would probably, take me out.
That's really the only bad thing, that and the heat. Yeah, it gets hot, but I'd rather have heat than cold. I mean, when I lived in Missouri, it snowed in March.
Yeah.
So no, thank you.
Oh yeah. I think
It's like we go to cold places now. Where were we? St. Louis a couple weeks ago, and it was snowing, and I was over it, fucking freezing. And everyone's like, "You're from here. Should you be used to this?" That doesn't mean I fucking like it or I enjoy being cold by any means. I'd rather be hot than I think cold.
Yeah. I would definitely take hot over cold. For one, I'm just fucking done with cold. 2, I love pools. 3, my wife is smoking hot and loves tiny bikinis. So cold weather does me nothing. Right. So
Yeah, you don't want her in sweaters. You want her in a G-string.
We haven't moved to the G-string bikini specifically yet, but
She's just on thongs.
we're on thongs now. Yeah, we've moved on to thongs.
I guess I am too. It was that's the only swimsuits I have are pretty
Mm-hmm.
bare minimum. So when I go over to Jesse's to get in the pool and the kids are there, I'm just like, hey,
Eh,
it's my
but
swimsuit, whatever. It's like
yeah.
I try to wear my most covered up one, and the most covered up you're going to get is just where it's like a little more covered on my butt
Oh yeah.
crack. That's about it.
Hey, good tan lines are important, right?
Yes, exactly.
And yeah, we've talked about that because we're going to Florida with our boys. They're 6 and 3. Well, the youngest will be 3 by then. He turns 3 in a couple weeks. But and yeah, like the resort we're going to in Florida, like it's pretty thong bikini friendly. We were there last year, and it's kind of odd if you weren't wearing one.
Right.
But people are asking like, oh, what do you think about the boys? Like your boys and your wife wears this. I'm like, well, it's what she wears. They don't seem to care, and also like. It's very weird for me, like as a parent, like I don't want them growing up thinking that if somebody wears something like that, you have to treat it in a certain way, So it's odd, but the G-string bikini is pretty aggressive.
Yeah, I haven't gone full G-string. Mine are just regular thong ones, I guess. And I'm the same way with Kane. I had him when I was super young. It was just him and I. So I was always very open with him, and he's gay now, supposedly. So it's like I don't watch myself around him. I'm pretty open, and we talk about a lot of stuff. So I've never thought about it that way. And to be honest, wearing in like a swimsuit from Target makes me feel like I'm wearing a diaper. So if your kids don't know what a butt cheek looks like, then that's their fault, not mine.
Yeah. Now,
problem.
if we were there at the resort and somebody's wearing like I don't know if you ever seen like the Wicked Weasel brand swimsuits.
No, what's that?
Well, they're very sheer and very, very low cut and G-string, but they're very popular on the internet. Then I might be like, that's a bit much for a resort with children. But no, she's
Where are you going? What part of Florida?
So we're gonna be in St. Pete Beach, staying at the Don Cesar. It's this massive pink place. If you
is that by Clearwater?
It's a little bit south of Clearwater, yeah. It's kind of like the next big beach down.
My mom used to live in my mom used to live in Clearwater, so we'd go to St. Pete, and that hotel was always there. That's super nice.
Big pink. It's very nice.
Awesome.
It's very nice. I'm actually I'm trying to get a hold of Ross because I was like, hey, I'll start just like guerrilla ad campaigning hard AF all around this hotel because it's very like. It's a huge like social media spot. Like people that don't even stay there will come for the day just to take pictures to put on social media. So I was like, I know that they distribute Hard AF out of Florida. I was like, I'll drive, pick up a case of it, and just start leaving it around the hotel.
Just start taking pictures.
I'll start taking pictures.
Do it.
I'll just find like random hot chicks and be like, you like seltzer? You like getting drunk? Here, take this, drink it, and I'll take a picture and we'll put it online. Cool.
I think our distributors in Orlando or Miami, Dan will have to tell you, somewhere close by there. I mean, I guess Orlando's what, like 2.5 hours probably from St. Pete Beach?
Orlando's about an hour and a half. We went there. So we stayed at the same place last year and took the kids to like the Disney water park one day while they're in about an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours. I can't remember, but it's close.
Did you hear about the 4 people that work at Disney that just got arrested for human trafficking?
In Disney? Wow, I did not know that.
I think they were part of Disney, something like that. They got arrested. Yeah. So.
Well, that's creepy.
I mean, there's your fake news for the day.
That's creepy. I'll have to look into that. We're taking the boys to Disney next year, so we'll have to watch out. I don't want to be human trafficked.
No, definitely. They would definitely take you before your kids.
They would.
I took Kane to Disney when he was probably 6 or 7. And I think that was a good age. But I was miserable the whole fucking time. And let me tell you, chicken strips are like $30 for 3 of them. So I hope you're rich when you go, Bill.
Oh, trust me, the numbers that have been thrown at me for this trip, I was like, why don't we just put a down payment on a condo at the beach? It's nuts.
How much are tickets now? They gotta be almost $400
I don't know.
a person.
Yeah, I'm not sure. We took my oldest a couple years ago, And we actually kind of lucked out because we went, I think it was Labor Day weekend, and I thought it was going to be really busy, but there was a hurricane coming. So it wasn't very crowded, and the weather was actually pretty nice because the hurricane was like sucking all the humidity out to sea. Because Orlando, even though everybody thinks of Florida as a beach, Orlando is in the middle of a goddamn swamp and is miserable probably 360 days of the year. You know, like,
yeah, it's no matter what, it's always humid and sticky and fucking nasty. And then on top of that, you have screaming fucking kids running around everywhere. Parents that are just miserable because they're dealing with their screaming fucking kids. It's not a good time. Like, I want Kane to experience things, but if it makes me miserable, like, you're gonna have to do that on your own time. Yeah. I've learned my lesson there. So no,
a 14-year-old's not going to go to Disney anymore.
No, he's fucking over that now. He doesn't give a shit. He does want to go to the beach, but he's more of a let me get in the pool and take Snapchats of myself, which is I'm cool with at this point. I'd rather that than him running around like a psychopath. Yeah,
I'm definitely I'm very odd. I like being at the beach. I like seeing the ocean. I like the view, but I want to be in the pool where I can see the ocean. I don't want to be on the beach. I fucking hate sand. I hate salt water.
Yep.
You know, I want to be in a nice pool.
I'm the same way. I want to look at the ocean, like right there, maybe an infinity pool, and I'm at the swim up bar, but I don't want to be in the ocean water. Like, I want to be in just pool water, and then I want to see the ocean at the same time.
I don't have to worry about having sand like in my flip flops and all that shit. And no, give me a pool.
Have to go to the sand shower.
Oh yeah, the sand shower, humiliating, so cold.
When we were in Florida, we were walking on the beach because we were at Sarasota, so that beach that's right there is super nice, and it's like white sand. Well, I went to go rinse my feet off in the little shower thing, but I pushed the wrong button and decided to rinse my whole body off, which was really fucking great. So that's why I stay in the pool. But if I can see the ocean, that's even better.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, so Sarasota is really close to where we're going to be going. I think we're actually flying in and out of Sarasota for that week.
Which is awesome because that airport that we flew into, I think was Sarasota Airport, was a lot smaller than like Tampa Orlando Airport. Yeah.
Oh, last year we went, like we were in the Tampa Airport, like car seats, like 2 adult checked bags. We had like Stacy thought it was gonna be cute for both of the boys to have their own roller bags, and it literally turned into me at baggage claim, ready to murder my entire family. Like,
yeah, because then you're in charge of those bags.
Oh, there's somebody posted a video of me on Instagram somewhere. Like, look at this asshole dad screaming at his family. I'm like, can somebody get these goddamn bags? I'm trying to get to I want to get the rental car and get to the beach. Ah, they're like you were saying, the Pelican case flipping around, like I'm carrying these bags. They keep flipping over. I'm about ready to throw one back on baggage claim, just get rid of the goddamn thing. You know, nightmare.
Yep. Yeah, it's a shit show. I will tell you, if you're getting a rental car while you're at Sarasota Airport, try and do it where you could pick your car and just walk to the car, because the lines for the rental cars were ungodly long when we were leaving.
Yeah, so luckily my full-time job, they have like, I can just use their account to get rental cars essentially. I still have to pay for it, but they have like the one where I walk and I reserve what kind of car I want. You know, but I can go pick whichever one I want. And then when I go through the gates, if I get one that's more expensive, they'll obviously charge me more. But I've learned that.
Where you're like pre-checked in and ready to go.
Yep, I just walk out like, okay, I get this car. Cool. And done.
Yeah. But I was leaving and I just remember seeing the rental car lines and I'm like, Jesus Christ, that they were out like an hour each for each line. Yeah. So
did you hear my story about getting my rental car in Austin this last time?
No,
I
don't think so.
There was a dude in line in front of me, like going through, I'm assuming probably heroin withdrawals. Why
do you figure that?
So I walk in, and I don't know if you've ever been to the rental car place in Austin, in the Austin airport. Like, you got to walk through the parking lot, and Austin airport's kind of stupid to navigate for shit. But I walk in, and there's like this lady, I don't know, probably looks like a weathered 35, but she's in a wheelchair, like doing all this weird shit, right? So I think she's got like cerebral palsy or something, but she's sweating like crazy. And then there's a guy, maybe, I don't even know how old he was. He was probably 40, but looked like he was 75. Like not a tooth in his head. Fucking like trying to sign the rental agreement, shaking, like having to hold on to the counter, shaking, and then turns around and runs out the door and just starts throwing up on the outside of the door. And then comes back in. He's like, oh, I'm sorry. Like, then he goes to sign the rental agreement and then just throws up all over like the plexiglass on the thing because he's shaking so hard. And I was like,
thrown up.
Oh yeah, it was bad. But so there was that. So moving on past all of this, you and Dan now doing the Get Fucked podcast, giving relationship advice, where of many things, I learned that you have stolen a very expensive pair of shoes, but we won't accuse you of that. But what's it like? Like, what made you start that podcast, I guess?
We had a lot of people just ask for shows with him and I. I've been on Drinking Bros a couple of times, but I'm not really an in-camera type person. I'm more of a behind the scenes. So we had a lot of people that just asked about, doing shows with Dan and I. And I think a lot of people just want to see a different side of Dan, maybe than he has on Drinking Bros. So we thought about just doing it by ourselves, and so it just kind of has turned into a relationship podcast. Now, I'm not going to tell you to take our advice by any means, but Dan and I have a relationship where we are brutally honest with each other. And I think a lot of people don't do that. So if there's something that like pisses me off that he does, like I'm not afraid to tell him that, and vice versa. And so I've obviously been married and divorced. Dan's been in a couple of long-term relationships, and we've kind of figured out what we do like and what we don't like. So we're always up to giving people advice. If you take it, you take it. If you don't, you don't. So we've recorded, I think, 3 or 4 episodes now. And I joke with him because the 3rd episode, my camera wasn't working and wasn't recording me. So it's kind of like Ross Patterson Revolution, where, his wife's on the show, but her name's not in it. And so Dan's camera was working, mine wasn't. So the 3rd episode is audio only, in case anybody's wondering. So
Okay.
we just started it. The first couple episodes were people asking us questions. We were answering it, and they kind of come from our own experience. So I've dealt with a lot of dumb, fucked up shit, and he's dealt with a lot of fucking psychopaths. So we're like, we have stories to tell. So if anybody wants to listen, we'll tell them.
Right. And I get that. I mean, people ask about me and Stacey's relationship occasionally, and I never tell people what they should do because everybody's different, but like, it's kind of like, here's what we do. And it seems to work. Right. So maybe try it or don't, whatever. But yeah, I love it.
Take our advice or don't. That's kind of where we're at.
Yeah. I've listened to the first 2 episodes, or I've watched the first 2 episodes on, I think it's on the Drinking Bros Patreon, correct?
Yep. They're only on Patreon. So I think we have 2 video files on there, and then 1 audio file should drop this week. We're going to make them both video and audio, obviously, going forward, but it's only on Patreon. So we had people paying for Patreon, and so we just decided to put it on there, not anywhere else, which you can get it. I think with the $1 subscription, you don't have to have the expensive one. Our show's just for $1.
Right.
So it's not that much. And if you can't afford that, then stop being so poor. I guess the government would say.
Yeah, stop being poor. Or Kim Kardashian would say that as well. Just get up and work, right?
What did she say?
She's like, get off your asses and work. Yeah.
Bitch, you made a porno. Like, and your family was already pretty well off. So, I mean, but I get it. But you also made a porno, and now you're famous and rich. So, whatever.
Yeah, hey, her getting fucked by Ray J, who makes your headphones, by the way. Does
he make Raycon?
Yeah, Ray J, Raycon. Yeah.
Well, they're great.
Yeah. So that family spun a leaked sex tape into several $billions. So
Yeah. And then what? She married one guy and got divorced like a month later, but it was all televised. She's had a
hmm
TV show about her life for like 8 years. You've made millions and millions of dollars from doing nothing.
oh yeah, oh yeah. They're a marketing company, right? Their family literally is a marketing company that just markets themselves, being
Mm-hmm.
rich, and people love it. Yeah, and now you've got the whole.
I will tell you, I bought one of her bodysuits the other day.
hmm
Skims, I
hmm
think is the brand. It is pretty great.
Is it
So it
okay?
is. It feels like butter. It's almost like I don't know. It's great. It's like a Lululemon, like the leggings where
Okay.
everyone's like cult religious about
hmm
it, and it was pretty good. So
Yeah.
I'm
Oh,
not
so
gonna say
like,
shit,
are you
but
talking about like a one piece like bodysuit top to wear?
yeah, like you put on a newborn baby.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I thought you
Yeah.
meant. I
So
thought
it's
you
just
meant
like a
like they're like she does like the Spanx stuff.
oh no, look, I'm not trying to tuck anything in. So I'm trying to tuck it out. Like up and out. So it was just the bodysuit, like a tank top,
Gotcha.
and it does feel really fucking good. So if any girls want to try it, they should.
Nice. Yeah. The Lulu thing again. Going back to Dan, I saw Dan wearing fucking Lulu joggers and it looked comfortable. I bought Lulu joggers and now I'm fucking obsessed with Lulu joggers.
Did you? Which ones did you buy?
Oh fuck! I don't, actually, Stacy bought them for me, but I don't know. They're
They're
like
just regular joggers.
the regular joggers. They're elastic at the ankle. You know, I think they make ones
Mm-hmm.
that kind of don't elastic at the ankles. They're elastic at the ankles, and
So
yeah,
you love them.
oh, I love them. I love them. Like Stacy's, like I never thought you would have worn like joggers in public ever, and now you are. I was like, yeah,
Now you are.
because they're soft and they're Lulus. So I look like a
Mm. Now you're never
non-poor.
gonna. Yeah, now you're never gonna be able to go back. Kane just asked me the other day to buy him Lululemon shorts, and I'm like, it was the same conversation with he needs more clothes to match and this and that and his shoes, and he's like, well, will you buy me some Lululemon shorts? And I'm like, oh, you got a great point there because they are fucking great. And
They're
I
pretty awesome.
I will say, like 4 years ago, I photoshopped. I hope no one from Lululemon is listening because they'll cry if they find this out. I photoshopped one of my paychecks to make it look like I was a personal trainer at my gym that I worked out at, and I submitted it so I get a discount. It's like 25 or 30% because they think I'm a personal trainer.
Nice.
So I will buy all of mine and Dan's stuff online with this discount code. I get 30% off. So it's a lot cheaper. But I will say, once you wear their stuff, it's really hard to wear anything
hmm
else.
Yeah,
It,
Jessica.
it, it feels so
Oh
good.
yeah. Oh, I love it. I have some shorts too. And Stacy wears their leggings, and I'm into that. So whatever she wants, I will buy because she looks hot in them. Jessica said Dan is
Yeah,
Bill's
you're not going to complain how good her ass looks.
and she's half Brazilian, right? She she's got the dump truck going on back there, you know.
Yeah, I've seen it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Jessica said what?
Jessica said Dan is Bill's Regina George. Yeah, I guess. Dan had Allbirds. I bought Allbirds. Granted, I did have Allbirds before that, but I saw his ones and they were dope as shit, so I had to buy them. And then, yeah, Dan, where's Lulu's? Maybe I'm just trying to be the fucking next Dan. I don't know. But what Dan doesn't have is my first sponsor, by the way. We segued into this one an hour into the show.
Ooh, yes.
So, yeah, Rep CPS. So, College Peep Show. Their website's Rep CPS. And I don't know if you've ever seen, you probably have, because you're, a fellow dirtbag and you're, with a dirtbag and you go do dirtbag things. The Show Me That Butthole hat. Have you seen that in public lately?
I have, and it looks fucking great. I kind of want one.
Yeah, so that's who that is. So Rep CPS. So yeah, go to their website. I'm actually doing a giveaway right now on the Nooner Nation Instagram. Go hit that up. You just gotta you just gotta follow the Instagram page, follow their Instagram page, like the post, and then, obviously tag 3 of your dirtbag buddies that would want a hat that says "Show me that butthole." But yeah, they sent me some
Show me your
stuff.
butthole.
But they also have they've got like this. They sent Stacy a beanie that says "Free hugs and butt plugs."
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah. She's not entertained by that one. But, and also like this one. Oh, where's the camera there? Skinny dips and bong rips.
Oh, I like that one.
Yeah, yeah. I know. Stacey's like, why couldn't they send me a beanie that said that? I would wear that one. So I'll probably order one. Yeah,
Yeah, no, I like that. I'm gonna have to order some stuff. I saw your post earlier.
yeah, and they have some other ones. Coop actually has one of their hats that says only masturbate or only cry when you masturbate.
Okay, I haven't seen that, but I did see you show me the butthole post, and I'm like, oh, that's kind of funny. I
Yeah,
think I need
it's
that.
funny. Actually, I told Stacey I was gonna order her one, and she's like, I would never wear that. I was like, I think it'd be funny for you to wear like if we go tailgating again in Kansas City or something. She's like, yeah, but like
Yeah.
I don't want random guys show me their buttholes. So then I had to be like, wait. Do you think by wearing that hat, people are just going to immediately start flashing you their buttholes? Because I will wear that hat tomorrow if that's the case.
Could you imagine if people like instead of mooning people, they just actually showed them their whole butthole?
Yeah, just spread cheeked and just showed you the
Yeah,
whole butthole. But then,
just chocolate starfish it
yeah,
up.
she did make a pretty good point. She's like, I bet most people at a Drinking Bros tailgate, most guys probably would show you their butthole. I was like, that's a decent point.
Well, we are gonna have a party, I'm pretty sure, when the new studio opens.
Yeah,
So let's see how many butthole pictures we can get.
there we go. There's
What do you think over under is on number of buttholes
butthole
people will
pictures?
let us see?
Are we going to go actual
Mhm.
number or are we going to go by percentage of people there?
Let's go actual people.
Actual
I think
people? I bet
because look, there's probably going to be a couple hundred people there because it'll be
you think
pretty
so?
big.
You
I
think
think I would 30 buttholes at least.
over under 30 but we got to go. Are we going 30 and a half buttholes or are we going 29 and a half buttholes?
Let's do 29 and a half.
29 and a half buttholes. Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, talk to Dan. He's got that my bookie connection. Let's see if we can get how many buttholes.
See if we can get it
No,
up there.
the second that's actually a reason, like an actual bet you can do. There's just gonna be buttholes everywhere. You're not gonna be able to go grab a hard AF out of the fridge without being like assaulted by like 19 buttholes.
I walked into the studio the other day, and you've been in there, so you know. So back where like Giorgio Delco and Hot Bob sit, I walked in the doors, and they're recording, and on one of the laptops, it's just legit a butthole, and then I think it was Hope Solo's butthole.
Hope Solo. Oof.
Yes.
Oof.
And it's just she's like looking down on a picture, and it's butthole, and I'm just like, for one, that's not a really good angle.
No, she's shooting up. She's standing up and shooting up.
Right, and you can see her face peeking over like her tits.
It's not a great.
There. I'm like,
it's not a great angle.
no. If I were to I've never taken a picture of my butthole, but if I were, the artistic part of me would be like, I want butt cheek and butthole.
Right.
I don't want.
You can't go
side.
full butthole.
I'd rather have the butt.
Well,
she went full butthole.
Oh, the butthole was the focal point, right? And I can't say I've ever gotten a picture where the butthole was a focal point. I've definitely gotten nudes where like the focal point is somewhere else, but you can catch a glimpse of the butthole, you know?
Just a little peek, like a little slip in the corner.
Yeah, you know. Or, you get like the bent over shots and things like that.
I can't say that I've never taken a picture of my butthole ever.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
but
if I did, I'm going to take one for Dan tomorrow. I'll send it to him while he's recording. I'll do butt cheek and butthole. I'm not doing front with butthole.
Yeah.
That's how she had it, and it looked awkward.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a very, if you haven't looked it up by now, y'all like go look up Hope Solo's nudes. It's aggressive. It's very aggressive. Which speaking of that,
you just see her like, eyes looking over her pussy hole because she's looking down.
Yeah, it's almost. I mean, I do it far better, but I've always said on the show, my go-to angle for dick pics is from underneath, like hard, but you see the tip, and then I don't do a picture, I do like a GIF, and you just the tip takes up most of the frame, but then you just kind of see my eyes come up over top. and then peek back down. That's my go-to.
I like it. You're creative though. You made it into a GIF instead of just a still
Yeah.
image,
Well,
which I would like.
You have to be creative because there's no such thing as a good dick pic.
No,
No.
dicks are not attractive. And as a female, I don't even really think like an actual vagina picture is attractive either. There's much better.
If you're just going
angles.
full vagina, like, it depends on what stage of a relationship. If some rando you just met at the bar starts sending you pictures of just her vagina, you're like, okay, that's cool. She's probably, DTF. But yeah, and if Stacy just randomly sent me a picture of just her vagina, I'd be like, yeah, I've seen it. I've seen it closer than this, by the way.
As a dude, what kind of nudes do you want from your wife? Since like I like just Snapchat of my titty and send it to Dan while he's pooping sometimes. But I'm like, he sees me naked every day.
Yeah, so he actually just jumped into the live chat and says, I have a picture of her butthole already.
He probably does.
And then whatever this emoji is. I don't know what this emoji is. But
is he going like this?
Like it's a white guy doing this. Palm down, I think. Or maybe it's like this. I don't know.
Oh, yeah, he's probably going like this. Like, he's like, oh, I have a picture of her butthole, which he probably does because he's a weirdo. But as a dude that's married, what kind of nudes do you want from your wife when you see that every day?
I would say a picture that shows effort goes a long way, right? You've thought about the position. It's not just a random, like, I just got out of the shower. Here's like the medicine cabinet picture. I actually get really into, I mean, I guess it's a nude picture if she's naked, but it's more of like a boudoir style, like a little flirty kind of position,
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that even goes back to the effort and attention to detail in it, goes a long way.
Would you rather her be completely nude or like matching bra and panties?
Ooh. So again, to go back to the whole pool thing, she's got a closet full of bikinis that drive me insane. So she throws a bikini on. I mean, there's times where we're having our time and she'll just like, hold on, I'll be right back, and throw on a bikini and come out, and it gets even wilder. So
that's your thing, the bikinis.
Oh, yes. But like for her,
Dan just doesn't care. Dan's like, if you're naked and there's a wet hole, then I'm turned on right now.
Let's see. Well,
then it's fine. It doesn't matter.
Speaking of titties, and Dan says titties and ass. No one ever asks if you're an ass, tits, or pussy guy. Tits or ass.
He's saying no one ever asks if you're a tits or ass kind of guy.
I guess. Yeah, I'm more of an ass guy, to be fair.
Ask him what he is. Let's see what it is.
He's downstairs. Like, just go. Like, have him come on air.
I don't know where he is.
Or is he like? Is he on so much? Is he on so much like Sudafed and DMT that he's just gonna be incoherent right now?
We've been drinking lean, so he's been sick for like 4 days. We have a couple of bottles of Hopefully no feds are listening. So he's been drinking some codeine and Sprite. And he's like, last night, he's like, do you want some? And I'm like, fuck, I'm not sick, but sure, if you're going to party, let's party. So we had some of that. So he's been drinking that, and it's just getting high like normal. We haven't done DMT in a while. We did do, the one we have at home is called like 5NN. It's not as crazy. Like you could do that in public and no one would know.
Right.
The heavy duty stuff we did on his birthday. And I've never done DMT, just heard about it, obviously. And so we did it on his birthday. And I will tell you, if you've never done it, I do highly suggest doing it. It's wild. It's kind of unexplainable in a way. Like it's like you're looking through a kaleidoscope, like you're on mushrooms almost, but it's quick. I mean, it doesn't last very long. And then once it's done, we got up when we drove home. So we were fine.
Yeah.
But it's great.
I'd be down.
Lovely.
I'd be down. I just get drug tested for work, so like even for a week.
You'd have to ask Dan. I don't know if that shows up or not, because technically it's, as much as I know, it's the liquid that comes out of a frog's glands. So it's not really like a drug that they can test for.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know.
Dan would know more.
I don't know, but I mean, I would much rather live a life where I could just like eat an edible and chill once my, feral gypsy children finally go to sleep than
Yeah.
now where we just start pounding like Tito's and LaCroix until we wake up
Mm-hmm.
in the morning going like, how the fuck did we get here? Um,
Right.
you know, but so,
That's because being a parent is hard, Bill, and we have to drink.
well, it's super easy.
Yeah.
So
According to Dan, it's super easy.
again, to be the median in the conversation between you and your future husband.
My
He's saying,
significant other.
yeah, your SO, your bae. You're either an ass man or a tits man. And then he went on to say, I'm fortunate enough that I don't have to choose because she has a nice ass and big fake titties.
Can you tell someone wants to get laid tonight?
Mm-hmm.
He is right though. So he gets the best of both worlds, I guess. Not to toot his own horn. He's a lucky guy. So if he says being a mom's easy one more time, then I'm just probably gonna get my implants removed.
Oh, ooh,
Just to show him.
that's a hard flex. You keep looking. Is he in the corners doing the
No, okay.
slapping
So
his
you're
dick
on my
across
TV.
his thighs? Oh,
You're on my big ass TV in our office, and the camera's in front of me, but your picture's to the left
I
on
know.
the TV.
I do the same thing.
So it looks like I'm
Yeah.
looking at you. I'm trying to look in the camera.
Yeah.
Dan told me before he left,
Yeah.
make sure you look straight, not to the left, but you're there and
Yeah.
the camera's here.
I have to do the same thing because my webcam's here, but what goes out on YouTube is on like my other thing, but that's the big zoom screen is over here. So when I'm talking to you, I want to see what you're saying, so I look over here. I try not to. What the fuck is that?
It's really hard. Look, Dan's the podcast professional. This is like my 5th time being on a podcast. So he told me before he left, he goes, make sure you look in the camera. I'm like, okay, but you're over here. So I want to look at you, when you're talking.
Yeah, it's hard. I know. I'm trying to get Stacy on camera more so we can do podcasts together. And yeah, it's all. She's only done 1 or 2, but she's very much like it's all a lot, right? There's a lot of I've got a lot of lights up here. There's a lot of like, before we go, like before the mics get hot, I'm like, okay, you can't say this, you can't say this, you can't say this. Try not to name people by name.
Careful. It's a lot of work. I didn't really think that much about it until, Dan and I got together and I started watching his show. And then, when we started talking, he was still in North Carolina. And then he goes to Texas, and then I came down to Texas and finally saw the studio and stuff. And I'm like, holy fuck, like it's a lot. We have countless cameras and lights and sound and shit like that just at the studio alone. And then we have 2 cameras in here. I have fucking 4 lights, 2 mics. So it is a lot of work.
Your video looks great. The sound's great.
Thank you.
The set looks great. What's insane is you spent all this time building this set for Dan. You're just gonna have to tear it down and take it to the old place. Are you moving this set there? No, you're leaving it?
Yes. No, this is just a rental, so I have to rip all this down. I made Dan's side really pretty for him while he sat in this chair and supervised, and I did it all. But whatever. My side's not done yet. So yes, we did just buy a house last week, and so we're gonna have to rip it all down and move it to the new house. But it's fine. Whatever.
Yeah. Did you buy it or did you build it? Because I know at one point you guys were talking about building.
We bought it. So
Okay.
it was just built in, I think, 2018. Okay. Some custom home builder built it. We were looking at new houses that were new builds. Jesse and Ross were going to live right across the street from us. So we found 2 houses. It is really weird in Texas. I'm not sure if it's like this in other states, but in like a subdivision, when they're building a home, they will not sell that house or put it under contract until it's framed in. So they'll have the lot listed with the model home on Zillow, and it'll say active, you can buy it. And then when you contact these people, they're like, oh, well, it's going to be built, but we can't sign a contract until it's framed in. And then you have a list of like 50 to 100 people for one house that as soon as it's framed in, all of them are fighting it for it. So we're like, dude, we're not fucking doing this anymore. When we were in Florida, I saw this house on Zillow Luckily, it had no offers, and we went and looked at it and
Yeah.
signed a contract. So
Nice.
that's it.
Nice.
We lucked
Nice.
out. Really, it's
Yeah.
hard right now
It
here,
is. It's
especially.
very hard. And Zillow's a great website, but you know, Stacy, we've been looking at some houses around Des Moines because property values are way up, and our house, like the equity in our house, is insane right now. But we also have to go
Mm-hmm.
buy something else, and it's also at the same value. So I don't know what we're gonna do. Stacy wants a little more space, which I understand. But yeah, like I don't know. I'm I'm super picky when it comes to houses. It took us forever to find this house because I'm like, I don't like this. Nope. I don't like this. Nope. Don't like this.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I get it. Building a house sounds like a absolute fucking nightmare to me. But
Well, it takes what they told us 18 to 24
oh
months
yeah, 2 years.
for it to be complete. And I'm like, dude, my mind is going to change for everything in that house after 2 years. And then
Oh
we're
yeah.
going to move into it. And I'm like, I don't want to do that.
Oh yeah. Yeah, but I saw the videos. The house looks great. Congratulations, by the way. Awesome.
Thank you. Yes,
let
we're
me
excited.
yep, let me know when the pool comes in because I will come down for that. I'll
Yes,
you know,
we're going to
Dan.
build one. That's the only thing that it needs is a fence and a pool. And then Dan's like already talking about when we're going to build a next one. I'm like, we haven't even moved into this one yet. Like, can you give me at least a year, to settle down and before you start talking about that? So we'll see.
Oof. Yeah. See, I hate moving, and the mortgage process is an absolute nightmare to me. Luckily, Stacy loves doing all that stuff, but like, oof. Um, but yeah. So you're also, by the way, you moved to Texas. You're now the czar of the Drinking Bros merch stuff, right? And I think all of us,
I am.
yeah,
Yep.
anybody who's follows Drinking Bros, which is probably everybody that listens to this, um, the merch offerings have ramped up, exponentially. So, what's that like? Are you the ones? Are you the one doing the designs as well?
I am. So they needed someone to take over merch. Dan was doing it before I started doing it. I knew nothing about that. I was in insurance for like 5 or 6 years, and then I worked at a cannabis company before coming here. And he's like, it's not hard, this and that. And I'm just like, okay, fine. So yeah, I do almost 100% of the designs. I'd say about 95%. And then we have another guy that we do kind of our more complicated
Mm-hmm.
designs. It's the other time. So all the bro boxes and stuff like that is me. I handpick everything that goes in those boxes and on the website. And then now I'm doing the photography and product shot for the seltzer. So it's a lot. You don't realize how much work goes into just making one shirt. But then it's like if someone doesn't like it, I'm like,
Oh yeah.
someone will tell me, oh, this shirt fucking sucks. And I'm just like, go fuck yourself. It does take a lot of work and messing around. So I do have a newfound gratitude towards graphic designers and stuff like that because it's not easy.
Oh yeah. Do you use Illustrator? Is that what you're using?
No, honestly, I do a bunch of my stuff in Canva
Okay.
in the room. It's the easiest. And then I send it. We do have a merch company that handles
Right.
everything. So they handle all of our customer service. I know a bunch of people have my email too that they've emailed, but they do our customer service, they do our shipping, our print on demand, everything like that. So if I have a design, I just send it to them. If it needs to be tweaked a little bit, they'll do it. So I'm grateful for that. But mostly it's in Canva or Lightroom. That's
Right.
about it.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. That's awesome. The merch stuff has been awesome. Oh, your designs are fucking dope, by the way.
Thank you.
That first Bro Box shirt was just like the simple kind of Drinking Bros in cursive. I was wearing that the other day, and Stacey's like, "Where'd you get that shirt?" It's like
Yeah.
it came in like the Bro Box Brittany design. She's like, "Oh yeah, that looks fucking awesome." I also had just got done working
Yep.
out, so
So-
it fit real well, and there's that.
Oh, she's like, oh God, your pheromones probably smell good.
Oh, yeah.
I will tell you, you're definitely gonna want the May box. So I changed it the other day. I had this idea. So every month from now on, starting in April, will be up an employee's box. So
Okay.
Ross's box is April.
Okay.
Ross gets to help me, pick out the design and what really goes into the box. So he picked that out. And instead of, we have like a little insert that goes in there that's people probably throw away. We are now making those baseball cards. So
Oh,
I'm
that's
going to
dope.
spoil it. They're going to be baseball. So April is Ross's box. He helped me pick out what he wanted in the box. And then the insert that goes in there is a picture of him and his baseball card with his stats. And then May's box is Last Row Lopez. So every month, each employee gets their box. They get to pick something. They'll have a baseball card in there. And that's about it. That's all I can tell you. Can't really give you all the secrets.
That is a dope idea, by the way. Did you come
Yeah.
up with that?
Yeah, because I just sat there and I'm like, I plan these boxes out at least 3 months in advance. And I'm like, I don't want to be the only one picking these things. Like, this is
Right.
silly. So I'm like, what if I did every month was just an employee's box? So April is Ross. May is Last Row Lopez. June is Dan's box, which we're still working on. And then it'll go on. And we might do we have different shows on our network.
Mm-hmm.
So like our Iconoblast with
Oh, yeah.
Joel and
Yep.
Coop. We might do a box just for their show and they can kind of pick out what's in there. Cause I want everybody else to kind of see what other shows we have on our network besides just, the main ones we listen
Right.
to. So they are responsible for helping me pick out what goes in there, and it could be really fucked up stuff. I mean, Dan's box, you can only imagine what's going to go in that one.
Yeah, there might actually be, who knows? There might be like some sort of like interstate trafficking laws violated with Dan's box.
You're probably just going to get a small child.
You might. You're gonna get like
They
a,
get sent to your house.
yeah, you're going to get like a weed vape and yeah, like a sack of meth or something just because he finds it hilarious.
You're going to get drugs and a plate carrier. I'm kidding. You won't. They're way more than $40, but something, it's probably always going to be fucked up. And everyone's always asking in our notes on Shopify for, a signed picture of the guys or for them to rub
Right.
their asshole across their box. So I'm like, we'll make baseball cards with their stats on the back. And the pictures are great. Joel took some the other day. So
Are they going to rub their assholes
They're
across the baseball cards?
maybe.
Never know.
It might be. And then, one person every month gets a golden ticket, right? So the first month, I think it was a free shirt. Second month was a free hat. This month, whoever gets the golden ticket, I am getting notified of that and I get to pick whatever it is. So
Nice.
it might be a Yeti cooler. It might be
Ooh.
cases of Hard as Fuck, or you can, we'll fly you to Austin and hang out with us for a party or something crazy like that.
Hell yeah. Yeah, that's actually, you talk about the Yeti cooler, by the way. I've said it 100 times before on the show. I'm a total whore for Yeti shit. I understand it's expensive, but it's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
But maybe the golden ticket idea, I'm throwing this out there, a framed poster of Hope Solo's butthole.
I'm going to write it down so I don't forget it, or I'll text it to myself. I can definitely. Who do you want to sign it? Hope Solo?
I think you might have a hard time getting her to sign that. But if you can, it'd be great. It can also just be, an unauthorized poster of Hope Solo's, butthole and that loose Arby's sandwich she called a vagina. It was rough.
I'll write it down and we'll see what we can come up with. If anything, I can get maybe a picture of Ross's butthole and him sign it.
I mean, if anything, the easiest, I'm pretty sure there's pictures of Giorgio's butthole out there somewhere.
He has an OnlyFans, right? Like,
he does. I've never been brave enough to go on it, but yeah, who knows?
I've not been on that either, so there's probably questionable things on there.
Yeah. So, anyways, we've been on here for an hour and 20. I can see how
halfway.
We're halfway through it. No, but I could definitely see how Rogan does 3 hours. You get into a good conversation, you never know. But it sounds like,
and he's always high as shit and fucked up, so he probably just keeps going and
going. Even though some of the ones where he gets a little too high, I tried watching the Post Malone one where they're doing mushrooms. No, about 15 minutes in, I was like, not going down this rabbit hole with you, bro. But
That's a long time.
yeah, and it sounds like Dan's getting a little frisky downstairs on that lean, you know.
I can only imagine.
Yeah, and I mean, Stacey will be up here in a minute trying to distract me on the bed. But one more
Ready to go to
question
bed.
before we get out of here. Summer's coming. What's the plans for the summer?
Yes. God. I know we're gonna do a couple parties here at Lake Travis. We have a buddy that owns F1 Firearms, has a boat
Yeah,
here. We
Dion.
still
Dion's a
have
dope guy.
our boat. Yes, Dion's fucking awesome. So I
Yeah.
know we're gonna do a couple parties in Lake Travis. We will have a couple parties, probably one or two, at least one at Lake of the Ozark, because we still have our boat up there. Other than that, I'm not sure when the new studio party is going to be, but last I heard they were looking to be done with the new studio by middle of summer, so we might have that opening.
Right.
Other than that, to be honest, I threw my planner away because Dan comes home and he's like, "Hey, tomorrow we got to go to Florida." And I'm just like, "Fuck my plans," right? So Dan tells me and then we leave. But I do know those for sure. We will have a couple parties here and then definitely at Lake of the Ozarks in Missouri. I think we were shooting for around 4th of July for that one. So if anybody's interested, we'll have more details.
That's the 1 week I was hoping you weren't going to do it, because that's a couple hour drive for us, but we're going to be in Florida for 4th of July. So
yeah, it's not far.
Yeah. So, but I think me and Stacey have talked about coming down. She wants to meet everyone. And, if we do the podcast we're talking about, it sounds like, I mean, you've already said you're on board with it. I think
down.
Yeah. So there's some other, I think it's a great idea. I don't want to give too much away right now because she's still on the fence about doing it because of how insane production gets about it.
I'll talk to her.
You should. I was actually trying to get her on tonight, but, new Law and Order on, I see where I stand in this equation.
Yeah. Look, when Dan is up here recording or he's gone, that's my time to just watch shit that he won't talk the whole time during.
Oh yeah.
So
or
I
Euphoria.
feel her.
She was watching Euphoria earlier.
Yeah, I feel her.
So I'll give her your number. You ladies can talk. I think it's a great idea. I've got so many merch ideas for that one, by the way. But anyways, if it sounds, I think it's a good enough idea to where I think, like, you've agreed, like, you would love to come on it. I think I could maybe get Ross and Jesse on it. Bob is probably
Jesse
down.
for sure.
So it sounds like if it happens, it makes sense for us to just come down to Austin and do those episodes in person as opposed to just doing it all on Zoom. It'll probably be around the time the studio opens, to be honest, because we can just kill two birds with one stone. But yeah. Anyways, I'm rambling. So, plug all your stuff, by which I mean promote everything you're in.
Look, I'm not a big social media person, so I don't really post that much. Instagram is just my name, Brittany Eden, I think, or Britt Eden, one of the two. And then our Get Fucked podcast. Yep. I think it is Brittany Eden. See, I don't even know my names. And then our Instagram for Get Fucked is just Get Fucked. I think it's gt.fucked. Ask Dan. He's in the chat. He knows way more than I do. And that's really it. That's all I appear on. You'll see that our merch is what I do, and then the hardest fuck pictures Joel and I take. So that's about it. I let Dan handle the social media. I'm like, people don't want to see the boring shit I do every day, and that's why I think it was so long for us to start a podcast, because I'm like, I'm not that fun, but it's like, whatever. If people want to listen to us, they will. So it's Brittany Eden on Instagram, and then Get Fucked on Instagram also.
Right. Well, I disagree. This has been a very fun conversation, and we'll definitely have to get you back on sometime. But yeah, I'll let you go down and deal with Daniel, that wild animal.
I'm not looking at the live chat, so I don't see what he's doing. So I'm sure he is probably, what time is it? 9:30. He's probably on coding for sure.
Either I missed some comments or he's just rambling. Probably both. It's making no sense at this point. Maybe. But it's awesome that he was in the live chat. And by the way, tell him thanks for giving us a shout out on Drinking Bros today. That was dope. That helped a lot.
That's my number one fan. Even if it's something stupid I do, he's right there. So
oh, this is definitely something.
Appreciate that.
This is definitely something stupid. So, but anyways, so everybody already knows. Like and subscribe on YouTube. rate and review on iTunes. You can rate on Spotify now. So go do that. Down in the bio for the YouTube, if you're watching this right now, are links for, I got some shirts out you can get. And then also
your Nooner Nation shirt looks really good.
Yeah.
I saw it on
I
Instagram.
think I'm wearing one right now. Yeah, there we go. It's
Are
just,
you? Yeah.
yeah,
I
it's
like that design.
yeah, I did that. Well, I can't say I did it myself, but I did most of the design myself. And then I printed them myself. I do screen printing. So,
Nice.
yeah. But yeah, and then also the link for Rep CPS if you want to get a hat, encouraging young ladies to show you their buttholes. You can get it there. Use the code Nooner for 10% off. It all helps the show, help us grow. This has been the Nooner Nation. Thank you so much, Brittany, for taking time out of your important and busy St. Patrick's Day schedule to come hang out with us, dirtbags.
I have sweatpants and my slippers on right now.
Yeah,
so
somebody asked in the chat earlier. It's like I feel like this is a pantless show right now. You're wearing I'm wearing sweatpants. I'm wearing sweatpants with underwear because that's how I roll in the house, Yeah, so I've got my Gap camo joggers.
Look, I'm not trying to name drop, but these Overland slippers are the most comfy slippers I've ever had in my entire life.
They are dope. And you know where they're made? Iowa.
Oh, are they really?
They
Shut
are.
the fuck up.
Somebody's told me they're made in Iowa, and I looked it up, and apparently they're made in Iowa.
I was fucking good for something. You hear that, Daniel?
So tell Dan.
Fucking real.
Tell
they
Dan
make slippers.
His brain's gonna explode once he hears that.
He's not gonna believe it's real. He's gonna be like, no.
He's gonna throw them out. Like these are Matrix slippers. They don't exist.
Yeah. Burn them. Fuck that.
Burn them. Fuck it. Anyways, this has been the Nooner Nation. Thank you for watching. Thank you again, Brittany. Go look up